Okay, so if you want to bring something into your artboard, you're going to need to upload it to Google Drive first. So what I've already done is I've gone in and uploaded a picture of the Nike logo to my Google Drive photo, or Google Drive folder, sorry about that. Okay, I've created this artboard in here. I've saved it up with my period number, my name, and then logo challenge as the name of the document. Just makes it easier for me to find these and organize them a little bit later. So once that document or that picture is uploaded to my Google Drive, then Cameo can access it. So I'm going to click on File at the top, and I'm going to go to Place. Now I could just as easily click on File and click on Open, but then I would have to actually drag it into my artboard. So this kind of saves you a step. So I'm going to click on Place, and I'm going to find that Nike logo, and it's going to kind of follow me around until I click to place it somewhere. It's a pretty big picture, so I'm going to scale it down. I'm holding down Shift and my Alt or Option key to scale it down perfectly from all sides at the same time. And what I'd like to do is make it a little bit see-through, so I'm going to change the opacity to maybe 10 or 15%. Makes it easier to trace. I want to make it so that my shape is not going to fill in, so I don't need a fill. And I'm going to go over to the layer, this layer right here, and I'm going to lock it. So I'm going to click on Lock right there. So now if I try to select it, it's not going to do anything. Okay? So I'm going to start with my pen tool right here. This seems to be the most logical point to start. So I'm going to click and let go, making a dot. Now it's going to try to make a straight line. I want to make a curved line. Remember, I'm going to click and drag to make a curved line. So I'm going to try to figure out where this line either this curve changes intensity or changes direction. So this is pretty much the same intensity to maybe like right here. Oops. So I'm going to click and drag in the direction that I want this line to go. So I'm actually following this Nike logo right up here. Okay, see how my handle is following where I want the line to go. My curve doesn't fit it perfectly, but try to get it as well as you can. Try to get it as accurate as you can. Now if it starts filling in, remember you need to change your fill to nothing. Now this says this is pointing out this way, so this line is pointing out this way. So even though I'm creating a curve, since this handle is saying I want this curve to go out this way, if I drag out this way, even though it says I'm making a curve, this curve, since it's pointing out this way, is actually going to be a straight line. Now I'm just going to click and let go. Now when I click and let go, remember, it always creates a straight line because I didn't click and drag, which is convenient because this part right here is a straight line. So all the way down here until it starts curving, this is a straight line all the way down here. Now I understand this doesn't match up perfectly with the logo, and I can go back in and change that. See how it doesn't match up perfectly right there? Okay, so using my space bar to click and drag this over, if I was to go all the way around here, and if I was to click and drag, let me zoom out just a little bit. If I was to click and drag, it doesn't quite match up. See how it's a little bit too sharp there? Doesn't quite match up. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe go about halfway around. See where it changes intensity right at about right there. I'm going to go about halfway around, and I'm going to create that curve first. So something like right there. Again, trying to click and drag in the direction that I want the line to continue. See how that matches up with it perfectly. And then this right here, it doesn't fit, it's going to try to create a curve that totally goes off my shape right there, which is not what I want. So remember, to remedy that, you can click on this. See how it has the upside down V? Looks like a little pointer. It's called a caret. When you click, it converts the anchor point, takes off that handle, and then when you go over here, it's a straight point. But I can click and drag just a little bit to make that straight point into the curve that I require. Remember, you're trying to make the dot that goes, or the line that goes into the dot, as smooth as possible, and the line that comes out of it, you want to make that match up as smooth as possible. So I've got a little bit of a lump right there. So one of the things I could do, remember, is select that, and you see the little target symbol right here. If I click and drag, it splits that dot into two, and it makes those two smooth corners. So it smooths out that point. It's a new feature for Creative Cloud that I find very, very useful. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to hide my original image. Hide the original image. And if you want to, you can fill this image right here with some kind of color. So in this case, I'm going to choose red. Okay? Now when I check this over, I'm going to zoom in to make sure that all this stuff is vectors. I don't want to see any pixels at all. Okay? So I'm going to zoom in on this one. It's a little choppy right here. I'm going to select that. Remember, you click on this little eyeball or target sign or whatever it looks like to you, and you can click and drag away from the anchor point. It creates two additional anchor points and helps smooth out that point right there. Okay? So pretty convincing little render of the Nike symbol here. One of the things you might notice is that here this part doesn't look pointy, while this part over here does look pointy. So this is kind of advanced, but if you look at the stroke here, go over to Properties, click on the word stroke. Let me zoom in right here. If you click on the word stroke, there's some different options for the stroke right here. And one of the options is to have I think it's called projecting cap. Let's see. No, that doesn't work. Corner. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes if you round the corner, now that corner is rounded and that corner is rounded too. Just makes it look a little bit better. Remember, anytime you guys need help with these, I'm helping you guys with this in class. I'm going to save that up. Anytime you need help, please feel free to talk to me in class using the chat feature. You can also come into office hours at 1 p.m. every day, or you can also email me at aaron.grable@osci.us.